we are live. Hi, my name is Mia Park, and thank you so much for tuning in. We are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. And this series is called In Response Interviews with Intriguing Internalizers. And an internalizer is a person who's a deeper, creative, sensitive person who processes the outside world in interesting internal ways. And how do I know what an internalizer is? Because I'm interviewing my friends. And so I'm really excited today to interview my friend Corina Coordt from Munich, Germany. And we know
Nice
each
to meet
other.
you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. And so we met doing Tai Chi in Shanghai like 3 years ago, I think. So let me introduce Corina a little bit. She's got a lifelong list of accomplishments. But right now, for part of her life, she is working in human resources, organizing companies, I guess, that are testing for COVID-19. So Corina is super busy right now, you can imagine. And in Karina's other life, she has been a Tai Chi practitioner for 25 years and runs a Tai Chi school in Munich. And like I said, we met as students together in Patrick Kelly School, Nine Clouds in Shanghai. So Karina, welcome.
Thank you.
And is
Nice
there
meeting you.
anything, yeah, nice to see you. Is there anything about yourself you'd like to share with people?
Well, I thought about it, about the interview, and I thought the one thing that might help at the moment for people who are in the Corona situation, I had it before when I was in my mid-30s. I was at home, stuck at home with a small child that needed a lot of care, no money, no work, partnership didn't work. So it was kind of Corona-like situation that took quite some time. And in the middle of this time, I met a teacher, Patrick, and he showed me with Tai Chi, how do you rebalance in life? And I think that's a quite big question at the moment for a lot of people in these times that are high pressure. And I learned over the years how to rebalance myself in difficult times. It does help at the moment too. And when I started learning it, I thought, oh, great, if I got my feet, if I got the center, I have the perfect balance, I will do my perfect Tai Chi and life will be easy. And it wasn't that easy. It takes some time to find the right balance. And it's always a small adjustment of small things to find the balance. And it's interesting that when crisis comes, a big pressure on you, it shows what needs to be rebalanced. So it's always a chance to have a crisis. So Corona is not only a crisis, it's a help in a way.
Thank you for that. You know, I am so with you. Like pressure pushes our defaults to the surface. And right now is an excellent opportunity to look at our dysfunctional defaults, right? And see how we can make them more functional. Emery Yosef says, hi. Hi, Emery. So anyway, so I agree with you. It's a great opportunity. Oh yeah, and friends, if you want to write type in a Facebook message or on YouTube, we can see them here if you want to ask questions or have comments for our lovely Corina. And so thank you for that, Corina. I have some questions that we talked about earlier. So first, we're going to talk about the external world. This is a global interview series. I'm interviewing people in many different countries. So right now in time and space, what is going on in Munich, Germany? And how does that influence the response to the Corona COVID, where you are?
Well, Munich is in the south of Germany. We're close to Italy. And the news out of Italy really impressed the people. So the reaction of the people came almost before the government was taking any restrictions. People suddenly started buying food more than they needed and distancing very early. So it's not as bad as in America, in your place. The people are not dying that much. I work for a half governmental organization, and it was amazing to see how the people just jumped into it and tried to make the best out of the situation, get people safe and get a lot of testing going. And not easy, because it was not easy to get the test, to get the mask, to get the safetiness for all the people. So that took a great effort. Many people did overtime. And but still, it's not as severe as in other countries. People are more cautious, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we were lucky. We saw it happening in other countries that we could work it out earlier. I don't know. It's not as severe as America, but the pressure is still very high on people because they have short work, and the rents, most of people are in rent, are very high. So, and then they're squeezed in between home office and children. So it's Corona like everybody knows all over the world.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad to hear that it's not so uh, taking so many lives or having that much of a health impact there, which is good. So, next question is about that's your observation of the external world immediately to where you are. So, I'm curious to learn what your internal process is in response to what's happening right now, my dear.
Mm, may I take you on a small journey? You remember Shanghai? Some years ago, we were in the parks. And do you remember how the parks are in Shanghai? Quite different from Europe. They're quite noisy. I mean, hundreds of people, everybody's doing what he likes. There's singing, there's dancing, there's music, there's shouting, there's screaming. It's quite noisy. And when I arrived the first time in Shanghai with Patrick, we were training in the park for 4 weeks, every day, in this incredible noise. And I mean, Taiji is something about relaxation, going deeper, going inside. It's meditation and movement, let's say, something like that. And it's really noisy around you. And one day, suddenly, I fell into a deep silence, inside, outside. And I could distinguish this kind of silence from the outside noise. And I thought, oh, that's quite something deep, deep different. And then I came back to Europe. And when you go to a meditation group in Europe, and it's really, really silence, very silent, more silent. And in the end, I came to the same state. And then I realized, okay, it doesn't matter what happens around you. It's a matter of the way you concentrate, the way you balance, how you find your center, how you go deeper. It's so Corona doesn't really have an effect if you train deeply.
That's nice. So, your internal process has to do with going deeply inwards and finding that silence, regardless of what's happening outside.
Yes, yes. It's. I mean, the outside can help. The outside can help to distinguish if you're really deep or not. The pressure helps. So if Corona is coming, for sure, people start to train more intensely. I see it with my students. The more pressure they have, the more the effort comes, the inner effort to find something really balanced deeply, to find a deeper state of being. Yeah, it helps.
We love talking about what, us in this Tai Chi lineage, man, we love our pressure. We love talking about
Okay, that's one part of it, yeah.
We need it. Okay, so those are beautiful responses. Thank you. So some questions that we talked about before. Is there a life experience that you would like to share about yourself so that we can learn more about you? You shared quite a few already. You can pass if you want to go on something else.
Yeah, there's another one. I mean, the first one was a big one. I just talked about a big life pressure. But I had another one where I had a sad period of life, like everybody has once in a while, you have a sad thing. And I was walking over a field, not doing something special, just sad, whatever. And suddenly, out of nothing, there came happiness out of me. Really a big wave of happiness. No reason for it. It was just there. So I think we always think we have to do something to reach a certain state. We sure have to practice for it, but sometimes it just comes naturally and we have to trust it. So it's good to train balance every day, but there's also a little piece we have to give trust to it and let go. And then it comes.
Oh, that's nice. I I think that with the daily training comes the capacity for trusting that spontaneousness that comes sometimes, right? I think that the daily training is what gives us the fortitude to lean into that trust and faith, I think. Um, let's see. So, so right now, in response to the pandemic, do you notice anything different about yourself?
Well,
Besides maybe not getting a haircut like the rest of us sort of. Although you're beautiful. You are beautiful.
no. I just like to quote an old yogi. He said, to see yourself is more difficult than seeing a black ant in a black night on a black elephant's foot. You probably know that saying. So, well, you probably notice more what changed me than I do myself.
Yeah. So you mentioned your students earlier, just about the kind of to talk about your habits and outside world a little bit. Are you still running your school, and how is that going? And what is more of a response you're noticing from your students?
Um, I I saw the wave coming. It was a bigger tension in the students in January, February, just to personal reasons probably, and I just tried to keep up the training. But in the middle of March, we couldn't keep it up. We had to close down the school because of the governmental law, and I thought for a while what needs to be done. I saw what you do in America with the Zoom practice and everything. At the same moment, I got the wave from my job. I mean, it was immense pressure, a lot of overtime. And so I thought, okay, wait a while and see what comes. And it took about 4 weeks until the students kind of popped up and said, oh, we're missing something. Could we do this or that? And then different ideas popped up. And so we're working on to get the Zoom next week. But at the same moment, I have to listen to the news today because we got new openings today from our governor. So maybe we can open up at the end of the month. I have to check it. I don't know. We will see.
Okay, so it sounds like in the interim, you haven't been in direct contact with your students, at least in a teaching format.
Yes, and I had this before. You know, Munich summer, they love to go on vacation. They have 4 weeks. The school always closes, like everybody else does here. And in the beginning, I always thought, oh, sorry for the students, we can't do it, and blah, blah, blah. And over the years, I noticed sometimes it's good to have a break. And things that didn't work before suddenly work. Or they come back with a different view on the training, or with a different effort, or they suddenly really missed something. They noticed the difference. So it's like a rhythm in music. Sometimes a break gives another rhythm. And so I wanted to use this here at the break now, see what's developing, what could we change, make smaller groups, or try to connect the people in between the two of them, 2 by 2, or something like that. Or if we only make the Zoom, because I thought only Zoom doesn't help. It should be a mixture of Zoom technique of teaching and in between personal meetings. But at the moment, we only were allowed to have one other person. So maybe they come up to 4 or 5, that would be better. And then we train without push-ins.
Yeah, I think on the technical side, there's a lot of Zoom's not the only platform, and there are different options in Zoom, but whatever, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
You said something really interesting about how you are, I'm going to say, encouraging your students to take a break and see what shifts when they come back. So I love that idea. So for you personally, is there anything that is shifting in you as you notice taking a break from teaching?
Yes, yes. It's always good to step back and check yourself, and it's good to go over it, look back, look forward where you want to go with them. And I did it before a year ago. I went away for 3 months and wanted to close down the school completely, and the students complained and kept it open by themselves. So it encourages
That was a
for
coup.
self
Taiji coup.
responsibility. So I always thought, what's better, keep them fed like a little baby or make them more self responsible. So when I learned it from Patrick, or I'm learning it from Patrick, we have long gaps in between. And then I really have to have my self responsibility to keep it up, to keep it going, to let it grow. And this I try to transmit. So there needs to be a time where you have self responsibility in learning.
That's nice. So it sounds like a takeaway for you as you're taking a break from teaching personally is this self-responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Is there we to maybe go back to the question about if there's anything different about yourself, like are you seeing things, are you seeing the outside world differently, taking on a little more responsibility during this break? Like is it shifting your perspective?
Yeah, it gives me time to step back and have a different look on the situation. If you're always involved, you are too much attached to something. And if you step back, you have to let go, and then you see what's working, what's not working. You have to have, yeah, trying to step back from what you're doing and to judge it in a new way and try to have a new approach.
Yeah, perspective. That's cool. Well, I wondered if there's any, like, if you might have a specific example of like, I used to hate chocolate ice cream and now I love it. That's a really silly example, but something kind of personal that way. But I understand what you're saying, though. It's nice to step back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So
So, and I, I'm asking people here too if they wanted to have like an organization or a group they want to donate to. And in lieu of that, I love what you wrote. You said instead of asking for a donation to see if people can just be kind to each other right now. I love that that was your personal message.
yes, because I mean, there's a lot of donation going on, and it's important. I mean, I could have said something. My daughter's working for South America, and you could donate there, and a lot of people do that. I think it's important to do it, but sometimes we lose the moment of where am I? Who's my neighbor? What is he doing? Is he fine? I mean, does he need some help or something? We have the tendency to make the big thing far away, but it's nice to have the thing close, to pick up the phone and call an old aunt who might not be going out because of Corona, so they're very lonely. And you can have a small talk with them and stuff like that. So it's the small things that sometimes help the people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a lovely message. Thank you. Is there any like new behavior or a habit that you're enjoying doing now that you hope to continue with once the world changes again?
Yeah, pick up the phone more often.
Yeah. Who are you calling?
What's great, I mean, we do this, what we're doing now with friends. We're doing this inside the family, and my family is all over the world. So it's really nice to have a Sunday meeting with a whole family on the video chat. We didn't do that before. That's a quite nice thing to keep it going.
Yeah, I'm doing, it's funny, Sunday's family, I'm doing that with my family too. It's 3 different locations. It's interesting to see, like, we have this desire, like, oh, let's keep family Sunday chat. We'll see what happens in a couple months if the world shifts and where you are in Germany or where I am in Chicago, if we're able to behave differently. That's a different kind of pressure, right? It's a
I mean,
new.
What's really nice, what I noticed today in the subway, they are getting crowded again. The people walk more slowly. They stopped rushing. I think that's a quite nice thing. Maybe this could go on. Stop rushing.
That is really, oh, let's hope for that. I hope for that for me and for you and for everyone.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap up. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
Corina, it's so good. And I think I sang this song to you in China, but this is an old song. Corina, Corina, where you been so long?
Okay.
You
My
remember that?
grandpa used to sing that.
Oh, well,
Okay.
me and your grandfather, we just love you and we love singing that song to you.
Okay.
But thank you so. Is there
Okay.
anything else you'd like to add while we wrap up?
Oh, you asked me if there's hope. I think there's always hope. It's just, like the sunlight. It's always there, just sometimes covered with some clouds. So that's hope. That's good. Keeps you going.
That's nice. Well, here's to hope. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. You are lovely. I cannot wait to see you again in person at some point in the
Me
world and
too.
time and space.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like my Facebook page and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We have more of these kind of introspective interviews coming with different people from all over the world, some more Tai Chi people, and just very interesting people. So take care and bye, everyone.
Bye.